Hello traders, FXPIPCOLLECTOR here. Today is Friday, July 7th, and welcome to today's live stream. Thanks for coming. I really do appreciate the support as always. So, it is non-farm payroll today. It's usually a pretty big news event. So we have non-farm payroll in about 30 minutes, and then on top of that, we also have some Canadian news. So we definitely have a pretty good busy day today by the looks of it. Definitely been a very slow week so far, so hopefully we will see some movement today because so far it's been pretty slow. Very, very slow week this week. Part of that may be because of the big bank holiday in the US, but really, some of it may be because the market was waiting for this news to come out today. And next week you'll notice too that we have a lot of news next week too. So we got CPI for the dollar next week and PPI for the dollar next week. So we definitely have some pretty good news coming up next week. So hopefully next week will be a little better for us, a little more volume, a little more activity in the market. So let's get started right away. We're going to look at the US dollar index and the DXY. We're going to do our full top-down analysis all the way down to the 1 hour time frame. Then we're going to take all the information we learned from analyzing the dollar index. We're going to apply it to all the other US dollar pairs, including gold. So let's get started right away. So let me do one thing real quick, and then we'll start off with the US dollar index. So start up. There we go. So let's start off with the US dollar index. So to me, the US dollar index definitely still looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. It definitely still looks like it's in an A, B, C, a B, and it looks like one big uptrend that is over. And if that is a big uptrend that's over, then most likely it really is a wave C, and most likely this is going to end up continuing the downtrend. Now, just because I believe this is continuing the downtrend on the monthly does not mean that we may not get a bigger correction before we actually do end up going down. That would actually be completely normal if it made a correction like this to this move down before it actually did end up continuing the downtrend. So we do have to keep aware that there's definitely a chance that this correction could be bigger on the dollar. So let's go down to the weekly time frame. Now on the weekly time frame, I'm still calling that we may have already ended the correction. It definitely looks like a downtrend right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1. Definitely looks like 3 waves up, like an ABC correction. Most likely a wave 2. And we went right to the 38% Fibonacci retracement level, made a nice impulsive move down. And to me, this move up is looking very corrective. You can pretty much see right away that the last 2 weeks have been very, very slow for the dollar. But this move up definitely looks pretty corrective, and it looks like it should end up going down. It looks like it should be a 1, 2, 3. And if this is a 1, 2 right here, then that means it's a 1, 2, 3 of wave 3. So let's take it down to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we definitely got a little bit of almost like a triangle or something, or a wedge forming right here. It still, to me, looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. I still think it looks like an A, B, C, of B, and I still think it looks like an uptrend for the wave C. To me, this move down looks way too strong to be anything but a trend, which is why I'm still calling it a wave 1. Now, this move up, like I've been saying for a while too, looks like a trend also. So honestly, especially with the fact that we didn't bounce off a fib level, I really wouldn't be surprised if this was like an A and this made a B, and then maybe today it even went up and made a C, and then maybe later on bounced off a fib level and went down. That may actually be what actually happens today, so we'll have to keep an eye, especially with the slow week we've been having. I really wouldn't be surprised if something like that did happen. Now going down to the 4 hour time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, I actually almost think that the DXY is clearer for once. On the 4 hour time frame, is the reason why is because it looks like almost a perfect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like a nice downtrend. It looks like an A, B, C up. It looks like impulsive down, and it looks like this is a correction to the upside. To me, it kind of looks like this should just keep on trending down. I am more likely to trust the US dollar, the FXCM US dollar index, because it is equally weighted, unlike the DXY, which the DXY is almost exactly the same as the euro dollar, but in reverse. So I am always more likely to believe this one. Now this one also kind of looks like it could possibly be a correction to this last wave up. So we're going to have to see how the news the reaction to the news. I mean, if it makes a big impulsive move up, I would say that's definitely the end of a correction, and it might even be the end of a wave B or possibly a wave 2, and it might even go up and make a wave C or possibly a wave 3. But I am still kind of sticking to my analysis, which my analysis is saying that this is probably a downtrend like a 1, this is probably like an ABC of 2, and it's probably just going to keep on going down for a wave 3. Looking at all dollar pairs, I still think that is the most likely thing to happen at the news today, so I'm sticking with that for now. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, definitely look at just a pattern that we've had pretty much all week long. The market has pretty much done nothing all week. It's been in this one channel ever since Monday. It pretty much has not done anything all week long. Hopefully today will change that. Definitely not a very good week for the dollar for sure. I mean, a trend trader, a channel trader is probably loving this stuff right here. But a trend trader is not really liking it too well. We are definitely at the bottom of the channel right now, but I still think that the most likely thing the news is going to do is cause this to go down. I think that this is going to go down most likely because I think this is up here is most likely the end of a correction. If that's the end of a correction on the longer time frames, that means that the trend is down and that it probably will end up continuing the downtrend. So for now I'm sticking to that, but like I said on the 4 hour time frame, if it does make a nice big impulsive engulfing move and it holds to the upside, then I would say this is the end of a correction to the uptrend, and it may just keep on going up. But until we see something like that, I'm definitely sticking to my analysis that this is actually going to turn down, and that this move up is probably a correction, and it's probably just going to keep on trending down. So now what we need to do is we need to look at all the US dollar pairs and see if that makes sense for all the other US dollar pairs for that to happen. So I definitely see kind of both possibilities, especially with how choppy it's been all week. But on the higher time frames, like the daily time frame and up, to me it still looks very, very clear. And what I always am more likely to trust the higher time frames. To me, it still looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It still looks like this is all one big correction. We are definitely at a Fibonacci level. It did already make an impulsive turn up. I think there's a good chance it's already ended a 1, 2, and it's going to just keep on going up for a wave 3. Making higher highs and higher lows. So taking it down to the 4 hour time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, you can see almost a perfect uptrend right here. That is a really, really nice safe uptrend. That's like if you looked up what a 5-wave Elliott wave trend is, that's pretty much exactly the picture you would see right there. I think this first move down is an A. I think this is a B, a C, a D, and an E. It's like a 5-wave correction, really. It definitely respected the 50% level a couple different times. It did make an impulsive move up, and like I said, according to the longer time frames, the trend is up, and I think that it's more likely that today's news will cause this to just keep on trending up. So taking it down to the 1 hour time frame, I think we have impulsive up. I think we have 3 waves down. I think we already have the end of a correction right there, and I think this is just going to keep on trending up at the news today. So I am definitely still saying that the euro dollar is going to go up. Now let's head down to the pound dollar, head up to the daily. So just like the euro dollar, the pound dollar looks like it's going up, and it looks like it may have already ended a correction. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe a 1 of 3. This looks like an ABC down, like a 2 of 3, and it looks like it's just going to keep on going up for wave 3 of wave 3. So taking it down to the 4 hour time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, there's that almost perfect looking uptrend that we had on the euro dollar, almost the same thing on the pound dollar. Then we had impulsive down wave A, corrective up wave B, impulsive down wave C. This move up definitely looks a little corrective, but I think that's just because of how slow the market's been this week. I think that this has actually already gone up, ended a correction way back here at the 50% Fibonacci level, and I think there's a very good likelihood that this is just going to keep on trending up. Hey Azer, how's it going today? Hey GabX, thanks for the support. Robin, thank you. Chris, thanks a lot. Nice to see everybody. Definitely like and subscribe to my channel. It makes a big difference to push my channel out to new members. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, I think it's already going up. We had an ABC correction today, 3 waves down, impulsive up. We had the end of a correction. And looking at this, a lot of times if you see like something like this and the news is about ready to come out, most of the time I would actually say that that it's going to go down, which it possibly could. But looking at the longer time frames, I still think that this is more likely just going to keep on trending up. Now, going down to the Aussie dollar is definitely a little on the different side because of how weak the Aussie's been. But to me, it still looks like one big impulsive move, like a wave one. It still looks like a Kretzen, even though it's strong to the downside. I think this is also just going to end up trending up also in a wave three. So taking it down to the 4-hour time frame. Now, this is a little, you kind of have to, go with a lot of these other correlated pairs to figure this out. If I was only looking at this one pair, I would never come to this conclusion. But looking at this, it looks like an A. We definitely got a break of Strutzer, which I think is a B. And then I think this is possibly a downtrend for the C. This move up right here looks like a trend to me, like a wave one. It already made 3 waves down. I think that this is just going to keep on going up. I think we already had the end of a wave two at the 78% Fibonacci. And this is just going to keep on going up to make a wave 3. So let's take it down to the 1 hour. So a lot of these pairs on the 1 hour time frame look very corrective to the upside, almost like they are going down, and they may keep going down. But I think this is more likely that the news today is going to cause this to continue the uptrend. I think that this move down right here is an A. I think that it definitely made 3 waves up right there, wave B, and I think this big impulsive move down is the wave C. I think we already had the end of a Kretzen at the 78%, and I think the trend is up, and I think it will continue to trend up at the news. So taking it down to the Kiwi dollar. On the Kiwi dollar, let's head up to the daily time frame. Kind of the same story as the Aussie dollar, except for not as strong to the downside, but I think this has already ended a Kretzen right here. I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1. I think it's already made an ABC of 2, and I think it's just going to keep on trending up for a wave 3. So let's keep going down to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, now you can see this trend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, this is a lower high than the wave 3, but I think it's very clear that that really is a wave 5 right there. And then I think it's also very clear that this is an ABC Kretzen to the downside. I think that we already had the end of a Kretzen right here. This move up is almost definitely a trend. I think this move down is a Kretzen to that trend, and I think this is just going to keep on trending up at the news, and most likely just continue the uptrend, most likely just part of a big wave 3. So taking it down to the 1 hour time frame. So kind of the same thing as the Aussie dollar down on the 1 hour time frame. This move up definitely looks a little corrective, but sometimes that when you get down to the sort of time frames, because you're not tuned to the correct time frame, it looks corrective, but I think this is actually just going to keep on trending up. I think this right here is a trend, even though it's kind of flat, mostly likely because of how slow of a week we had. Wave A, 3 waves up. Wave B, yes, it's a higher high, so I think that's an irregular wave B. Impulsive down, wave C. I think we already had the end of a Kretzen, and I think it's just going to keep on trending up at the news and most likely continue to make higher highs, higher lows. Now the Canadian, we have Canadian news coming out at the same time as the non-farm payroll, so we definitely need to pay attention to that also. We may, if we have time, take a look at the Canadian pairs also. But on the daily, it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now there's definitely a possibility this could be an A. I think it's a 1, but it could be an A. This right here looks to me like 3 waves up, like a wave 2, but it possibly could be a wave B. And we definitely have the end of a trend right here, so if it really is a wave C, then this very easily could just keep on trending up. So we definitely need to keep aware, like I've been saying for about a week or two now, that this could be an ABC Kretzen, and it very easily could keep on trending up. Now, if the dollar continues down, which I do suspect that it will, that means that this is probably going to continue down also, and that this move up is actually a Kretzen. It's right at the 50% Fibonacci, so if it turns down, I think it's going to be the end of a Kretzen, like a 1 of 3, a 2 of 3, and a 3 of wave 3. So let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, you can see the impulsive uptrend, break of Strutzer, proving this downtrend is over. This is definitely corrective down to me, like an A, B, and it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C. We made almost a perfect bounce off the 50% level, so if this does make an impulsive engulfing move to the downside, and it breaks Strutzer, then I think it's going to be very clear that this is the end of an ABC Kretzen, and I think that would be a nice entry to go short for the continuation of the downtrend. So let's take it down to the 1-hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, now you can see what I think is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up. So we have almost a perfect wave five wave uptrend right to the 50%. We have not broken structure yet, but I think it is going to break structure, and I think it's going to start a brand new downtrend. Like I said, this is probably like a 2 of 3, and it probably will go down for that wave 3 of wave 3. So we'll have to see what happens with the news today. I think that has a lot to do about what is going to actually happen. Now, looking at the US dollar Swiss, I think the US dollar Swiss already ended a correction way back here. I think that even though this is a little messy, I think it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's already ended another ABC, and I think it's just going to keep on trending down. This kind of looks to me like a 1, 2, 3 also, just like a lot of the other dollar pairs. So it kind of makes a lot of sense for all these dollar pairs to go down in like a wave 3 of 3. Now you go down to the 4 hour, you can see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shape, and then we have a big ABC here, and we have a smaller ABC here, which went right to the 61% Fibonacci level. Nice impulsive down. I think that what's happening right now is we're getting an even smaller ABC, and at the news, it's probably just going to keep on trending down. So I think that's going to be a pretty good one to get in possibly. Now the US dollar yen, I always say the US dollar yen is almost more of a yen pair than a dollar pair, but to me it doesn't look like it's over yet. If anything, this is like the end of a wave 3, and this is going to make like an ABC correction, maybe something similar to, the size of one of these corrections back here, and maybe that's going to be a wave 4, and then later on it goes back up for a wave 5, maybe in a week or two, maybe at next week's CPI news or something like that. So going down to the 4 hour time frame, we definitely got a little bit of an impulsive move up, but I don't think that that's going up yet. I think this is still going down. I think it's going to go down even further. I think it's still part of a wave A. I think eventually it probably is going to go up, but that move up probably not even going to happen today, probably going to be a wave B, and then eventually back down for a C before it ends up going back up. And like I said, it possibly could be a wave 3, 4, and 5 on like the daily and the weekly time frames. So taking it down to the 1 hour time frame, definitely a little bit of a strong move to the upside, but I'm still suspecting that this is just like a little bit of a bull trap. It looks to me like a 1, 2, 3, like this is going to be a wave 4 and it's going to go down again. I think the trend is down, I think the dollar is going to go down, and I think there's a good chance this is going to go down more also. So definitely looking for sorts on that one also. Gold is actually kind of similar to like the Aussie and the Kiwi right now because it looks very corrective to the upside. Now let me show you just how things can change. Like look how corrective that looks on the 1 hour, and then if you go down to the 15 minute, it looks even more corrective. But what happens when you go up more? On the 4 hour, that looks very impulsive. On the daily, it looks very impulsive also. I think I'm still sticking to the fact that I believe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. I think this is all a correction in the middle of wave B. I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C. We are definitely respecting the 61.8% Fibonacci level. We have not broken structure yet on the daily, so technically the trend is definitely still down on the daily, and there's always a chance that it could just keep on going down. But I still think that it's either going to go up and make an ABC like that, or what I think is more likely is going to happen is it's going to go up and make a 1, 2, 3, and it's just going to keep on trending up from there. So I'm still saying that this is ending a correction, and I still think that gold is going to go up. Maybe within the next couple weeks, go up and make all-time highs. So I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. I think it's already made a 3-way pullback. I think the correction is already over. I think this is going to go up to either make a wave C or possibly a wave 3. If it's a wave C, it might just go up and break this wave 4 structure, and then later on, probably not today, but later on in next week or something, it will break structure to the downside, and I think there's a good chance that if it is a wave C, it will break structure to the downside, proving that it is a wave C, and at that point, most likely, it will end up continuing the downtrend. I think what's more likely to happen is this is like a 1, this is an ABC of 2, and it's going to keep on trending up for a wave 3. Probably not quite that strong, obviously. I mean, a real trend looks more like this. No trend ever really looks like that. Trends look like this. Trends are messy, overlap, higher highs, higher lows. So I still suspect that gold is going to go up. Now, I do know that this looks very corrective on the shorter time frames, and if the news comes out and it starts going down really strong, then yeah, I would definitely take it as a short. It very easily could go down quite a bit further. But I think that this is just a little bit of a misconception. I think that this is going to end up continuing the uptrend. I think that the news is going to come out and the dollar is going to go down, gold's going to go up, and all the other pairs are going to move accordingly also. So we just looked at all the dollar pairs. I told everybody what I believe is going to happen. Now, one thing we have to realize is that we have this Canadian news also, which is unemployment change and unemployment rate. So the Canadian news may also be a pretty good opportunity. So we need to take a couple minutes to look at that also before the news comes out. Let's look at this Canadian index real quick and see if we can figure out what's going on the higher time frames. Yeah, the Canadian index looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways down. It has not broken structure yet, but that move up looks very impulsive. It kind of looks like it's going to go up and break this structure, proving that this whole trend is over. So that does look very impulsive up. Look at that, big time. Going down to the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, it looks like a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and there's really no reason to even think that the wave 3 is over. Let's take it down to the 1-hour time frame. Yeah, it kind of looks like a 1, 2, 3. This looks like a 1, 2, and this is all a wave 3. Maybe it will go down, but maybe that move down will just be a correction and it will actually end up continuing the uptrend again. So we already looked at the US dollar Canadian and we decided if it breaks structure to the downside, that's probably going to be the end of a correction. So we're probably going to get similar things on all these other Canadian pairs also. If we get a break of structure to the downside, that's probably going to be the end of a trend. Might even be a nice short opportunity. We already are starting to get a little bit of a break of structure on that, so it seems like this is also going to go down too. Aussie Canadian is already going down. That's because the Aussie is so weak. Wow, that looks almost like a three-way. It almost looks like an A or something, and this is like a big wave B, and now we're already going down for a wave C. I think that the Canadian pair has already made a short, probably about an hour ago. And the Kiwi, same thing. Impulsive down, even though that is like a double top, it's very corrective looking, and this looks like it's going to go down. Wow. And this might end up going up. Maybe that move on the the yen is not over. It looks like it's over. It looks like it should be making an A, B, C correction and then go up again. I was even wondering if it's the end of a wave 3. It definitely looks like it's the end of a wave 3. Like something like this. Kind of looks to me like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's going to go up for a wave 5. I still think it's going to go up to about this 200 level right up at this high rate here. So maybe the Canadian yen is going to try to make another move up. Oh wow, the Swiss yen definitely looks like it's trying to go up too. That looks like an ABC down. If that turns up in a big way at the news, I would definitely take that as a long. I think this is going to go up and break the high of wave 4 too. I would say almost definitely. Wow, nice. That looks like it could be a pretty good entry right there, honestly. What do we got going on here? Yes. Yeah, so I am, let's see here, just looking around real quick, see what we got going on. So let's switch back to the dollar pairs. The dollar is usually our top priority, especially at non-farm payroll. No, the USD ZAR, yeah, it's definitely not a pair that I would really be looking to trade or anything, but what's it look like? Maybe that can help give us a clue about what the dollar's going to do. Kind of looks like it could go down, honestly. It kind of looks like this move up could be a correction to that move down. That move down is very, very strong. This move up could be a correction to that move down, and it could just end up going back down. Definitely no signs of it turning yet. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's actually a really nice looking little trend right there. We get an end of a trend right there. That could be the end of a correction. It could be the continuation of the downtrend. That would fit also with some of these other pairs. Yeah, hey Menu, how's it going today, bud? Yeah, we can check out the Aussie Swiss. We're probably gonna have to wait until the news is over at this point. Yeah, the Aussie Swiss. I was in that one earlier. I got out because I didn't really trust it, but I was in a really small position anyway, so it didn't really matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Break of structure to the downside will show us that this whole trend is over. If that trend is over, it could be the end of a correction on the much longer time frames. What about the Singapore dollar? Sometimes some of these other ones can give us a clue. Oh, look how corrective that looks. That makes me think almost for sure that the dollar's going to end up making a move down. How about this one? Wow, yeah, that looks like corrective too. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then like an A, B, C. Maybe like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C. Well, that kind of looks like it's going to be ready to turn down too. Yeah, that one does too. This looks like an impulsive downtrend. That looks like 3 waves up. That looks like it's getting ready to go down also. So the more I look at things, the more I do think that the dollar probably is going to end up going down. What's the Aussie Swiss? Like I said, I was in this one earlier. Oh yeah, look at that. I should have just stayed in, definitely. Nice. I rode this wave down right here, and then I got out. I got in like right here, and I got out right there with just a tiny profit because I saw it going back up. But yeah, that was a pretty nice short, definitely, buddy, for sure. Nice. We're gonna keep an eye on some of those pairs that we've been watching, that we've been talking about in the Zoom meeting yesterday. So what do we got? About 3.5, 4 minutes until the news is coming out. So if anybody has not done so already, definitely join my free Discord channel. It's 100% free to join. You never have to pay a dime if you do not want to. It's 100% free to join. We currently have 3,646 members, so it's a big community of traders. We're just trying to build a good community. It's absolutely 100% free. Never have to pay a dime if you do not want to. If you do want more help with your trading, you can join my Patreon service, which comes with a trading course, and it comes with a bunch of free educational information, comes with twice a week Zoom meetings, comes with a morning forecast on all the dollar pairs and all the yen pairs in. It comes with access to my private channels on Discord. So if anybody is interested, definitely check that out. The link for that is in the chat and in the description. But even if you don't want to join my paid service, you can join the community and stay a free member for as long as you like. There's a lot of people in the group that are willing to help out and willing to help other traders, so it's a really, really good community that we are building on Discord. And community, I think, is very, very important when it comes to trading, because trading is definitely not the easiest business to get into. So having a good community, I think, is very important when it comes to trading. So definitely check that out. 100% free to join. You never have to pay a dime if you do not want to. It's 100% free. So let's see, what do we got? Let's get this ready so we can check the news after it comes out. We got 2 minutes and 20 seconds until the news comes out. So not very long now. And what do we have for the rest of the week? We got a little bit more Canadian news at 3 o'clock. And then later on we got President Lagarde speaking. The central bank, European Central Bank, is President Lagarde is speaking. So we got a little bit of news later on today, so that definitely might affect the euro dollar, that news right there. And this Canadian news might make a move on the Canadian pairs later too, so we'll have to keep an eye on all that. So let's prepare ourselves for the news. We got about a minute or so left. We pretty much already looked at everything, so we kind of know what to expect. I think that we pretty much know what we're looking for. I'm not really real confident about the news today, because I do see that there is a possibility that the dollar could make a move up, and it would still be in a downtrend on the weekly and the monthly if it did make a move to the upside. So honestly, I don't really see. Oh, hold on a second. Let me see. I'm just getting my own personal charts prepared. I'm gonna do probably a real small position if I got time, which it doesn't look like I do. US dollar Swiss, I think it's the one I like. We got about 40 seconds, so definitely prepare yourself. News is going to be out very, very soon. Like I said, sometimes you'll see me messing around, but that's usually because I have. Oops, I put the wrong order. That's usually because I have my own charts and stuff that I'm messing with. So if you see me go quiet, it's because I do trade. I do trade my own strategy. So that's usually why, if you don't hear me talking, why I am not talking, because I do trade. And this is definitely a pretty big news event, so I don't really want to miss it. Oh, there it goes. Wow, nice. Wow, nice. I think it was pretty clear what was going to happen today. That was extremely clear, I think. It wasn't really that clear on the shorter time frames. It was the longer time frames that showed us the roadmap today, which happens quite a bit, honestly. Sometimes you'll be watching the shorter time frames, like I was talking about on the Aussie. You'll look at this shorter time frame and you'll say that's going to go down, but then it doesn't. Because the shorter time frames are definitely, the longer time frames are always king over these shorter time frames. So be careful sometimes when you look at only the shorter time frames. I mean, if you trade the 5 minute or whatever, that's fine. Just make sure that you always know what's going on like the 4 hour and the daily, because those higher time frames are always going to be king over the shorter time frames. Always. So be careful of that, definitely. Now, we're getting a pullback. That's very, very common to see a big pullback like that during the news. Yeah, I don't think so. I think the dollar's going down. I think it was pretty clear. It wasn't clear if you were watching the 1 hour, but look at the daily. It was very, very clear. I think the move is in. Hopefully this makes up for the slow week that we've had, honestly. I just barely got my order in time. So I'm pretty happy. I had like seconds to spare when I got my stop loss and my order in. So we'll see how it turns out. What happened with the Canadian pairs? Did the Canadian pairs do as we expected also? We can't really look at that because that's... we were expecting the Canadian pairs to maybe make a move down. What's the US dollar Canadian definitely did. Yeah, the rest of them didn't. Yeah, the Aussie Canadians pulling back. Maybe the Canadian pairs are going to make another move up. Not really a whole lot. That Canadian news sometimes can be a little underwhelming. That US dollar Canadian broke structure, that looks pretty dang clear to me. Awesome. Hopefully we can make up for this crappy week today. So give me just a second. I want to put in... Make sure I got my stop loss in, just in case it makes some crazy pullback. And then we're going to go through and look at these dollar pairs again, see what we got going on. I think it's pretty well clear what's going on. Hopefully everybody took advantage of that. Now, a pullback is probably going to be pretty likely. It happens pretty much every time. So let me get out the chat so I can see what everybody's saying. Ah, yeah, you were. Hey, Vicky, how's it going? You were trading it long earlier today, and then you got the perfect setup for the short. You were trading like the 1 minute time frame, weren't you? Nice, awesome, good job. That's awesome. I got a good trade today too. I think it's gonna at least make it so my week is not in the negative, which is awesome. I was down a couple percent this week because of all the choppiness, but I think today I just made up for it. I pretty much already made up for it, so might even get a little bit of profit going. Jobs came out worse than expected. Let's see what the numbers came out. Seems like it would carry on at least until CPI next week. Yeah, job numbers are down big time, huh? They were expecting them to be down, but they were down even more than expected. Came out 209. That's pretty low, especially considering it was previously 306, and then it went to 209. The hourly wages went up. Well, that's kind of a good thing, though, for the people that are still working. Canadian, that news was negative for the Canadian, right? Was that, am I colorblind? No, that's red. Yeah, so mixed news though, because the unemployment change was up. More unemployment, less, right? Yeah. So a little bit of mixed news for the Canadian. That's probably why the Canadian didn't really seem to do a whole lot. Nice. I'm happy. This is always what happens on weeks like this, waiting for the non-farm payroll, because if you look at the dollar, we spent pretty much all week just in this one little teeny channel. You go long and you're expected to go down, and then it goes up. You get like a break even or a small loss. You go long here, and then you see it go back down. You get like a break even, small loss. So definitely a little bit of a hard week. Definitely a little bit of a challenging week. But really, I mean, if I got frustrated and said I wasn't going to trade today, then I probably would have ended up the week down, pretty strong down too. But because I didn't get frustrated, because I just understood that that happens, I think today is going to make up for the week and some. Yeah, I would definitely say so. That's a big move. The dollar is definitely taking that as a move down. So let's go through and look at this. Let's go through these dollar pairs, and then we're going to move on and start looking at some other things. My live stream is early today. Normally I don't live stream until 2:30, so we can go a little bit over today if anybody wants me to look at anything later on. We're going to go through these dollar pairs again. We're going to go look at the yen pairs, and probably look at our normal pairs like oil, natural gas, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and probably the stock market. But once we do all that, if anybody wants me to look at something for them, let me know. But let's look at the dollar, yen pairs, and all these other things first. So, like I was saying, if we were looking at the shorter time frames today, if I was only looking at the 1 hour time frame, this is a great lesson to people. If I was only looking at the 1 hour time frame, I would have seen an A, B, C, and I would have said the news is going to make this go down for sure. But the higher time frames are always the ones that you need to watch. Look at the higher time frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correction. And then up she goes. 1, 2, and 3. This is a trade that hopefully I'm going to hold on to. Maybe even right throughout next week. We'll see. I don't know. Definitely going to hold on to it for a few days. That's for sure. Probably through the weekend, I would say, at least. Like I said, if you were looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, you would have said that this thing is definitely not. This thing is definitely going down. And it definitely isn't going down, as you can see. So, let's see. Awesome. Pound dollar, same thing. If you were looking at this on the 1 hour, if I was only looking at this on the 1 hour, I would say this thing's going down for sure. But because I know that the higher time frames are always the one that I need to trust, the higher time frames showed me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, showed me an A, B, C, showed me that we already ended a correction, and showed me that this is probably in an uptrend. Shorter time frames, if I was watching the shorter time frames, I would have definitely looked at that and said that today's news was going to cause this to go down. The Aussie, this is the one that really kind of screwed us, because we would have looked at this and said this is a correction and this is going to go down for sure. Which, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Aussie did try to make a move down because of how weak the Aussie's been, but right now it definitely looks like it's going up, and there's really no reason to think otherwise. If we look at the higher time frames, even though it's very strong to the downside, it's impulsive up, break of structure. This snap means that this should go up now, and most likely a higher low, and most likely just keep on trending up. Shorter time frames, you would have never known that if you were only looking at the 1 hour. If you were looking at the 15 minutes, you would have said, that's definitely going down. So, you really, like I said, if you want to trade the 15-minute, 5-minute, 1-minute time frame, that's awesome. Do it. But you have to always understand what's going on the daily, 4-hour, weekly, and even monthly, because those are the ones that are going to tell you the overall direction of the trend. Kiwi, kind of the same deal. We already had the end of a correction up here. Impulsive up, corrective down, higher low. This is most likely going to go up. I definitely don't see any reason to think otherwise on this one. On the 1 hour time frame, yes, it looks very corrective, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it did pull back, to the starting line, but I bet it's going to go up. I think the trend is up. I believe it will continue up. US dollar Canadian, this one was a little tricky just because of how strong it looked on the higher time frames, and I was looking at this as possibly being 3 waves down, because it definitely did make 3 waves down, and we definitely do have to be aware that the Canadian pair This US dollar Canadian definitely made 3 waves down, and it definitely made a break of structure. So we definitely do have to be a little bit cautious, because if this is an ABC, it will end up continuing the uptrend. But like I've been saying, I think it's more likely a 1-2. I think this is like a 1-2 of 3, and I think it's more likely going to go down for a wave 3 of wave 3. Nice. So let's the US dollar Swiss, which is the one of the ones that I picked. US dollar Swiss, what I think was very clear, which is why I chose it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, impulsive down, very corrective up. I'm taking this thing at least down to these lows, if not even lower, for sure. No reason to get rid of this one, I don't think, today. It just broke out of these bottoms. And this move also, as you go down to shorter time frames, it looks like something that might go up. But if you stay on the higher time frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, impulsive down, A, B, C, and then hopefully down it goes. Definitely looks like it's going to go down. Pullbacks are very common, so we do have to be aware of that. Now, this US dollar yen, I think, is probably in a wave A right now. So at some point, maybe not now, but at some point it probably is going to go up and make a B. And it's probably going to go down again to make a C. Probably down to one of these fib levels. It's probably going to be a wave 4, probably a wave 3. It could even go down to one of these like 78 or 88% and then go back up for a wave 5. Yeah, that's kind of true. I mean, during these big news events, the market does pull back a lot. Like, yeah, usually will give you a chance to get back in. More times than not, definitely. That's a good point. So, let's look at the rest of these dollar pairs. What do we got? We'll go up to this time frame. There we go. Sorry, I got my second screen going with my trades. So, wow, gold. Big pullback. Gold has been awful unfriendly lately, honestly. I still think gold is going up. Whether or not it's a correction, that's the question, though. I don't know. To me, it looks like an ABC. But it could possibly keep going down. And even if it does go down, I think it needs to go up, break these highs. And if it turns out to be a wave C, then it will turn back down. If this really is an ABC, which I think it is, then it will go up and it will make a new uptrend and it will eventually make all-time highs, which is what I still think is going to happen. Gold is pulling all the way back to the starting line, which I think a lot of things are, probably. Yeah, most things are definitely pulling back. Oh wow, the Kiwi looks like it wants to go down. A little bit of a spike reversal on the Aussie and the Kiwi, that's for sure. So keep an eye out. Sometimes we do get those spike reversals, but right now I still think that it's probably just coming back to the starting line, probably going to trap people into going short. And then probably up it will go. Probably a little bit of a bear trap right now, because people are going to see this pullback and they're going to want to think that to go short. But I don't think. I think it's going up. Even if it is a wave C, I think it's going to go up. So, hey Yana, how's it going today? Nice to see you. So let's go see those yen pairs. What's going on with those? Yeah, the news is pretty negative for the dollar, right? And they're calling it negative 209. Yeah, definitely. I think that the yen pairs are probably just starting a brand new correction. So even if the yen pairs do go up, it's probably just going to be a correction like a wave B, and it's probably going to go down again for a wave C. Oh, you've been scalping with Dysa. Nice, awesome. She does some good scalping. She's a pretty good scalper, so definitely. Anything we can learn from other members is awesome. It helps us out big time. Good deal. Good job, Yana. Good job, Waki. So most likely this is all part of a wave A. If it does go up, it's probably just a wave B, honestly, I think. I don't think it's going to continue the uptrend. Now the pound yen is kind of a different story because of how strong the pound has been. While the other ones make a B, this one may end up making like a wave 5 or something, maybe even go all the way up to here and then turn back down. The pound has been very strong. Now, this one, it looks like it's already made an ABC correction, but I think that what's actually going on here is I think this is actually a wave 5. And even though I have it marked as a C, I think it's actually a wave A. I think if it's going to go up, it's going to be a B. And then I think it will go down again for a C before it goes back up. Looks pretty likely that that's what's going to happen. Still in a downtrend. Definitely still in a downtrend. The Kiwi, kind of the same story. Most likely we're just starting a correction. This is only a wave A probably. It's going to make a B, C, and then back up probably at least down to the 38% minimum. Maybe even down to one of these lower fib levels before it ends up continuing up. So the Canadian yen is another one that seems very clear that we're in a wave 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back up for a 5. I still think it's going to go up and take out this high before it makes a big move to the downside. I think we're only in a wave 4 right now. So down on the 1 hour time frame, it's a big move down. It may be getting close to ending a wave A. But I think that even if it does go up, it's probably just going to be an A, B, C, a B, and then probably down again for a wave C, at least down to the 38%. So that seems pretty clear. Seems pretty likely that that's what's going to happen there. Swiss yen. Now, Swiss yen is kind of, in a way, it's not really similar to the pound yen, but I'm kind of thinking that because of how strong the Swiss has been, that this may end up going back up and maybe making like a wave 5 or something, kind of like the pound yen. Maybe this is like a 3, 4, 5 right here. So while the other yen pairs are making a wave B, I think there's a good chance this one's going to go up and make a wave 5. Maybe even make a new high. Dollar yen. Wow, that was kind of short-lived on the dollar yen, wasn't it? That's mostly because of the yen, though. Definitely. Things are definitely pulling back, but that's kind of common. We really have to give it, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour before we really decide if this is a trade that we're going to hold on to for a few days or not. Yeah, definitely. Look at the pullback. Right back to the starting line, pretty much. Definitely, pretty much right back to the starting line on almost everything. It's get funny how this news works. That's another reason why I kind of like swing trading, because as a swing trader, you don't really have to worry about the news quite so much. You do have to look at obviously the big news events you want to pay attention to, but as a swing trader, you don't really worry about the news too much, except for maybe the big news events, which is definitely what I would consider myself. So we looked at the yen pairs. We're definitely going to come back and look at these dollar pairs, but we got to let it settle in a little bit, give it some time. Let's look at the oil, see what's up with oil. Ooh, oil's starting to break out of that triangle finally. I still think oil needs to go up and make some sort of an A, B, C, or B. Oil has been very, very messy lately. Finally broke out though. That's a good sign. A, B, C, D, E. Hopefully it just keeps on making higher highs and higher lows at this point and goes up and makes that wave A finally. Definitely seems like it should go up and make that wave A B. Oh, nice job. Awesome. Yeah, it's kind of overlapping, but it's definitely in an uptrend. Yeah, natural gas, we're going to look at that too, but definitely very overlapping, but you will notice higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Probably going to make another higher low. Definitely no reason to think it's over. Hopefully it goes up and makes that wave A finally. Like I said, on the daily, it really seems like it needs to go up a lot. I think worst case scenario is that it goes up and makes a wave C, which would be a correction to this move down, and this ends up being like some sort of an ABC correction. But even that would end up going up and taking out these highs before it ended up going back down. So that's like worst case scenario. 778. That probably lines up pretty much where I was just showing. Yeah, 778. Yeah, that's way up there. 77. Yeah, I would probably be looking to take some profit around there too. Definitely. We got a lot of not rally-based rally, but drop-based drop or whatever they call it right here. Definitely got some resistance areas back here. I would think it would at least go up and take out that high before we have too much of a big pullback too. So things are looking pretty good on those. Definitely awesome. I'm glad to hear people are doing fairly good. That's awesome. I'd love to hear it. Like I said, if anybody is in my Discord, definitely post success. I love to hear success stories. It makes all this work on YouTube worth it. Yeah, what do we think about natural gas? I am like very confident that it's going to go up and break this high. It's just how it's going to get there is kind of the question. It looks like it's in an ABC right now, and it's going to go up. Maybe it's like a 1, 2, 3 even. 1, 2, and then goes up and makes a 3, 4, 5. That seems pretty likely. Yeah, that probably is what it is, isn't it? I bet it is too. Whoops, my pen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1. We might be in a wave 2 right now. It kind of looks like it needs to go down one more time just to finish off the wave C. And then up for the wave 3. I think this made that WXY pattern for the wave B, which I was showing on my last live stream. Because we have impulsive down wave A, and then we have 1, 2, 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3 waves down, 1, 2, 3 waves up. That's definitely a really, really good example of the WXY pattern. It's a triple zigzag. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. WXY of B. We have a little bit of a break of structure right there, though, don't we? It didn't really hold above structure, but maybe this move will make a higher low. It seems like if worst case scenario, it would go down and take out this 78% and then go up. Probably grab some liquidity down here. I bet there's a lot of liquidity in this area. Around that 78%, we got these spikes back here. We got these spikes right here. It's probably going to go down and grab all that liquidity before it takes off. Yeah. On the 1 hour, it definitely looks like it wants to go down one more time. It looks like a little correction up, and it looks like it's going to go down one more time, probably to finish off that wave C. It looks like the dollar pairs are continuing. Yeah, we already looked at the dollar pairs. We're definitely going to circle back to them because the dollar is definitely important today. But we don't want to just look at the same dollar pairs all day. So we looked at the dollar pairs. We looked at the yen pairs. We just finished commodities. Let's go look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at the stock market, and then we'll probably take some requests from some of our members, some of our YouTubers, and then we'll switch back to the dollar pairs. Like I said, I'll probably stay on for about 90 minutes today. We're going on about 52 minutes right now, so I'll probably be on for about another, 35 minutes or so. So we can watch this FOMC and see what's going on. I think that Bitcoin is in a wave B right now. I've been saying this you can look at my Bitcoin videos for months and months ago, and I've been saying pretty much the same thing the whole time. Wave A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, corrective down, B. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C. I think we're going up to at least one of these levels right here. I think it's going to be an ABC of B, and I think it's going to end up going back down to about 12,000, maybe even lower, maybe even 8,000 to finish off a wave C before it potentially ends up continuing the uptrend. I think there is a good chance that it will continue the uptrend. I just don't think it's going to do it yet. I think it's very clear that this is an A. I think this is very clearly a big correction. This is definitely an uptrend, probably a 1. And now where are we at? I think at some point we're in a correction right now, and Bitcoin has a tendency to make some big drawn out corrections. Like look at this one back here. It'll just be like all of a sudden randomly one day it'll make a nice impulsive move up. Maybe end up doing something like this, grab some liquidity down here, and then bam, up and break structure, and then continue the uptrend. 1, 2, and 3 of wave C is what I'm expecting. 1 hour time frame. I don't think the move down is over. I think it needs to go down again, probably like this, and then down. And maybe eventually it will go up. It's kind of hard to get a good count on that. Yeah, we can check that out a little bit later. What do we? Yeah, it's pretty hard to get any kind of a good count on the 1 hour. It looks like 1, 2, 3. I was thinking originally that it was a W and then an X, and that this was going to be like a wave Y, which we're probably already in the ABC of Y right now. ABC. And then eventually it's going to end at wave C of wave Y, and that's probably going to be the end of a wave 2, and then it's probably going to continue the uptrend. Probably a 1, 2, and then go up for a wave 3. Seems pretty likely. Yeah. Let's go check out the stock market. I gotta check Discord too, see if there's any requests from my members, because I gotta make sure I take those first. Let me put in the chats while I'm there. So if you are not already a member of my Discord channel, it's 100% free to join. You never have to pay a dime if you do not want to. Saludos, sticks this guy. I don't know. It looks like he was writing in Spanish or something. I don't know. Italian, something. I'm learning Portuguese, but I definitely don't know it yet. Sorry. Definitely don't know Spanish either. Even though I took Spanish in school. Yeah, I think that's Spanish. Not sure. I'm in Portugal, but I can't speak Portuguese. Portuguese is an extremely hard language. 1, 2, 3. I think it's going to go up more. I think it's going up to at least a 78%, maybe even go up and make new highs. I have a theory that because this is an election year next year, if we go out to the weekly time frame, I think there's a good chance that they're going to do everything they can to make this go all the way up to all-time highs, and then until the election is over. And then once the election is over is when it's going to make that big drop all the way down to 3,200. Yeah, we can look at the Nasdaq, and we can take it down to, I think it's eventually going to go down to 3,200, but I think there's a good chance that they're going to keep driving it up until after the election is over next year. What do we think? The news really didn't affect this one that much, did it? It's kind of surprising. I was trying to figure out if this was a wave B right here, but it kind of looks like a trend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're probably going down, even though I think the dollar's going down too, but maybe it's only a wave A. Maybe we can look at it, Nasdaq or the New York Stock Exchange, and see if we can get some correlated pairs going on here. Yeah, that could be an ABC. Ooh, that one looks like an ABC too. So yeah, that probably is an ABC, isn't it? This is probably an A right here. This is probably a B. We're probably in a wave C, which doesn't really look like it's over yet. It might even go down and make a new low. Oh, awesome. Heyo, how's it going, buddy? Thanks, I really do enjoy that. If you haven't already, Heyo, definitely join my Discord channel. It's 100% free to join. You never have to pay a dime if you do not want to. It's 100% free. And there's a lot of people in there willing to help out. Kind of looks like we're in a wave C right now. Man, some of these other ones look like they could end a wave C. This one looks kind of clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very overlapping, but a wave A inside of a trend, inside of a crescent is often overlapping. Wave B. Maybe it is going to go down more for wave C and then go up. This one's already yeah, this one's already getting close to hitting the 78.6. It seems like it's more likely to go down, honestly. Which kind of makes you wonder about the dollar index, because if this goes down, the dollar might end up going up. Maybe not though. Maybe it already ended. Maybe it will go up. Kind of hard to say. What's the this one look like? Wow, can't really tell, can you? Yeah, that kind of looks like it's going down also. That one looks like a wave A. This looks like a wave B. It kind of looks like it's going to go down and make a C and then go back up. It's kind of tough, to tell you the truth. I'm trying to figure it out with correlated pairs, but it's definitely not easy. It's not making it easy for us. I think this move up is a crutch, and it kind of looks like it's going down. If that's the case, then they're probably all going to do something pretty similar. That one looks like it made an ABC too. Look at it. ABC up. It seems like it should go down. Nasdaq, pretty much the same thing, except for the Nasdaq's a little bit stronger. Kind of looks like an ABC. It looks like it should go down. So there we go. So let me check and see if there's any requests. Ooh, the Euro PLN. That's definitely one that I wouldn't normally look at, but we can look at it real quick for you. That's Poland, right? Euro versus Poland. I think I have that. Yeah, I do have that right here. I was looking at this the other day too because my broker's actually in Poland. And when I transfer money, they always try to get me to transfer it into Polish, whatever they call it there. I don't know what they call it. The Polish zloty. It looks like a 1, 2, 3 to me. And we have a break of structure, so it probably is going up. But it's probably going to be a wave 4 and then go down for a 5. 4-hour time frame. Yeah. And we made a new low way before we broke structure, so I bet this move down is going to be a crutch, and I bet it's going up. Yeah, we're going to go look at gold in a few minutes here. Gold, honestly, kind of has a mind of its own, so it could keep going down. We'll see. I was thinking it would go up for a wave C, but who knows? It definitely could go down. This looks like a crutch, and I would have my Fibonacci on here, and I would definitely be looking for longs right now for sure. It kind of looks like it might make a long right now, honestly. Yeah, look at that. It touched the 78% almost perfectly. It kind of looks like it's going to go long. I would definitely be looking for longs based on the sort of time frames. Yeah, we're going to go look at the dollar pairs again in a minute. Don't worry. So I would definitely be looking for longs on this for sure. Looks like the dollar pairs are pulling back. Everybody's nervous. So yeah, let's see. Let's go. Dicer wanted me to look at this one. We still don't have a break of structure. I mean, really, I would definitely say the trend is still down on the daily. We definitely are in a big liquidity area right now, big time. So I still think the yen pairs are going up, but I think they're probably going to go up and make like a wave 4 or something and make at least one more push down. Whoops. Yeah, I would say so. Probably a wave A. Probably a B and a C coming at least, minimum. I think that makes a lot of sense when we're talking about all the other yen pairs also. And look at that spike right there. It's probably the wave 5, so it probably already ended a wave A. It's probably going down now to make a wave B, which would probably look something like that, and then back up for a C. So what's going on with the dollar? Is it done? Is it just going to continue to range for the next 2 weeks? It's like already back to the starting line, that's for sure. Oh, back to the starting line. You gotta love dollar news. Sometimes the dollar, like I was talking about in my Zoom meeting yesterday with my Patreon members, which if anybody wants to join, the link for that is in the chats and the description. Sometimes I feel like we're better off not trading the dollar. Well, not all the time. I definitely trade the dollar almost primarily, but sometimes I think we're better off looking for something else to trade. Just because the dollar just seems like it's so manipulative sometimes. But to me, I think that it's just pulling back. It's just trying to catch people into longs. I think it's going to continue down. I think it's just making one a little bit of a bear trap. I think it might go up, but I think it's going to continue down. We'll see. I mean, if it makes a big impulsive move to the upside, obviously that's going to change. But look at it. It went all the way up, almost made a new high. Now it's pulling back. You gotta love the dollar, or you gotta hate the dollar, one of the two. Not really much in between. I think it's going up, but that's my opinion. We'll have to see. Based on the longer time frames, I definitely think it's going up. Same thing on the pound dollar. I definitely think it's going up based on the longer time frames, but that's just my opinion. I definitely could be wrong. Based on the daily time frame, I think this is very, very likely to continue the uptrend. Same thing with the pound dollar. Based on the daily time frame, I think it's very, very likely to continue the uptrend. And the dollar indexes, same thing. Based on the higher time frames, I think it's very likely to go down. Especially the DXY. I think the DXY is actually for once more clear. Impulsive down, corrective up, Fibonacci level, impulsive down, and there it goes. It's just trying to trap people. It's trying to make it so everybody will go long on the dollar and then it's going to go short again. So don't get trapped in these news events. Like I said, sometimes, enter a trade, put your stop loss in, and just walk away. Well, if the dollar starts breaking structure, which the last structure level is right there, if it breaks that structure, I would say it's going up. If it doesn't break that structure, I would just stay calm and just not worry about it. And the DXY, same thing. That last structure level is way up there, so that, to me, we're in a downtrend until it breaks that structure. I guess the dollar just wants to mess with us. It's been messing with us all week, and this is Monday right here. It pretty much has done nothing all week long. And it kind of looks like it wants to continue to do nothing. Next week is not the rate hikes for the dollar. Next week is CPI for the dollar. But we do have some rate news coming out next week. Let's look at the news calendar since you mentioned it. So let me get my blue pen out. So Monday we got CPI for China. That's probably going to affect some Aussie pairs and maybe the yen pairs, maybe. And we got some speakers that night. We got climate count. That's not really nothing important. We got the official bank rate. This is the bank rate news right here. That's for the Kiwi. They're not even giving a prediction yet. We got some people speaking for the Aussie. We got Bailey speaking in the UK. And then we got dollar CPI. This is not rate hike news. This is inflation news. The rate hike news is usually the 1 week or 2 weeks after this. I think we still have a week or two before that actually comes out. So, and then what do we have? We have the Bank of Japan. The Canadian news. We got Canadian interest rates. So we got Kiwi and Canadian interest rate next week. We got GDP for the pound. That's definitely a good one. And this PPI news is definitely a good one for the dollar. Looks like we got a bank holiday on Thursday for the Kiwi. We got a bank holiday for France on Friday. We got consumer sentiment, the pre-Lime consumer sentiment. That should be a pretty good one too. So we got a lot of news coming out. Yeah, I think there's a good chance they're not done raising hikes either. He's been saying pretty much ever since a long time ago, what was it, a year or more ago, that they're not going to stop raising rate hikes until the CPI comes out at 2%. CPI is right here. We're currently at 4%. And he said a year or more ago that they're not going to stop with rate hikes until we get back to the 2%. So unless he's going back on his word, I think there's a good chance that they're going to continue to raise rates. I was kind of thinking that they might wait until fall, but because they were trying to see what would happen if they didn't, but maybe not. Yeah, dollar. Man, you gotta love the dollar, that's for sure. Big old pullback. Not much you can do about it, honestly. Like I said, sometimes we're better off looking at other things. This week has really made me realize that sometimes we're better off just to look at some other things once in a while. We're literally back to the starting line on gold. This is where we were before the news came out. I still think there's a very good likelihood it's going to go up, but I could be wrong. US dollar yen I think is going to go up too, but I think there's probably going to go up and make like a wave B or something. US dollar Swiss is one of the ones I got in. I don't really think that's going up either. I think it's probably just gonna go down again. Once everybody gets trapped in the long is probably when they'll start taking it down again. US dollar Canadian broke structure. I think we had the end of a wave C. I think this is gonna probably make a correction at some point, but I think it's gonna continue down. Kiwi's definitely going down. I think it's going to make a higher low, though. I think it might do something like that, make a higher low, and continue up. Maybe it won't do it until Monday or Sunday. Kind of the same thing with the Aussie. We're going down, but most likely this is part of a correction. Most likely it's going to go up again. Yeah, definitely. The weekend is a good time to catch up on your analysis. And sometimes a lot of people don't trade the news, but I have pretty much always traded the news because it can really make or break your week. As long as you use good risk management, there's really no reason not to trade the news, I think. A lot of people don't. It's kind of like flipping a coin if you don't really have a good strategy to figure out direction, but I think we do have a good strategy to figure out direction, so I definitely don't think there's any reason to think this is going down. I think we're going up. It may not go up today. Who knows? It could just spend the rest of the day correcting and just staying in this stupid channel that it's been in all week. And then maybe next week is when it goes up. But I think it's going to go up. I don't think it's going down. I think it's just trying to trap everybody is what it's doing, in my opinion. It wants everybody to go short. Imagine how many people saw this spike and tried to go short. You know, people would probably had limit orders up here to go short. People saw the spike, they got short. People saw it going back down, they went short. And when the big money is finally satisfied, thinking that they got enough shorts trapped, is when they're probably going to take it to the upside. So let me check and see if we got any more requests in here. Oh, hey, Jacob F. So that's good. At least we're both on the same page here. So yeah, we got a few more minutes. If anybody wants me to look at anything in particular, let me know in the chats. No, none of my Patreon members have requested anything. So if anybody wants me to look at anything, I can spend a little bit more time looking at some things. And we already looked at the yen pairs, we already looked at a bunch of things, but if anybody wants something that we haven't looked at, then we definitely already looked at the S&P 500. I think that's going up. I think it's going down, but I think it will go back up. It's probably just part of a correction. Look at that, man. You really gotta hate the dollar, that's for sure. Look at that. That was a nice trade on that. What happened with the Canadian pairs at the news? I don't know what Solana is. It's probably a crypto, but I definitely don't really do crypto. Sorry. I do Bitcoin, but besides that, oh wow, we called the Canadian news perfectly too. I said that this is going to go down. Look at that. Perfect. Euro Canadian down. Aussie Canadian, that would have been probably the best choice. Kiwi Canadian down. Canadian yen is probably going to be in a wave B though, unfortunately. It's probably just going to make a wave B. And the Canadian Swiss, I bet, is going up. Not very strong. I don't think I would pick this one to go long on, even though it kind of looks to me like it's a big ABC correction and it may just keep on trending up. I would have to see like a higher low, like a correction and a higher low before I would think about going long on that one. Yeah, let's go look at the Euro Pound. I think we already looked at the ZAR. Let's go look at the Euro Pound. I like to look at things that we have not already looked at. Oh wow, look at that. That's the end of a correction right there. Impulsive up, 1, 2, 3 down. That is definitely the end of a correction. Either a wave C or a wave 3. Wow, nice. Hopefully you're already in that, whoever told me about it. What's it look like on the longer time frames? Oh yeah, I remember this now. Wow, I wonder if that's the end of a wave C finally. We've been waiting for this for a long time. Looks like a big wave A, looks like a big wave B, and it looks like a big drawn out wave C. I think at some point this is going to make a big move to the upside. Maybe we're starting. Probably a wave 5 right here. I want to see the end of a trend, which really I want to see this structure broken and to really confirm that this is the end of a wave C. If that structure gets broken, I would be waiting for a retest and then another entry to go along. That retest would be the safe entry, and it probably would be the end of a correction. Look at that. That right there is almost a perfect entry. Impulsive up, break of structure on the left. 1, 2, 3 waves down. Probably went to the 78% almost perfectly, I bet. Look at that, perfectly. That right there is like a textbook ABC correction. I hope whoever asked about this is in that trade. Look at that. Impulsive up, break of structure. This could be a clearest entry of the day video. Impulsive up, break of structure. 1, 2, 3 waves down, 78% Fibonacci. Impulsive up, the entry to go long was right there. And it's probably going up for at least a wave C and maybe a wave 3. So that's awesome. Good job. Yeah, let's look at the CAD Swiss. So we already looked at that USD ZAR. What's the CAD Swiss doing on the longer time frames? That's kind of the question, I guess. Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah, definitely. Oh, no problem, Chrissy. So you finished the Google Classroom course? I put about 3 months into that course, so hopefully everybody enjoys it. The Google Classroom course comes with the Patreon membership, which I don't think I have it pulled up, do I? Let me pull it up real quick. So my course that comes with the Patreon membership is 7.5 hours of videos, and I think it's about 38 videos. This is the outline right here. Each one of these modulars has at least one video, and this is my whole outline right here. It shows my complete strategy all the way from money management to Fibonacci to trends and corrections, risk management, structure analysis, Elliott wave analysis, trading psychology, tuning the frequency of your charts, which I think is something that nobody ever talks about except for me and the person who I learned to trade from, my mentor. And then my trading strategy is right here. It comes free with that comes with the Patreon membership. And if anybody is interested in joining my Patreon, the link for that is in the chat and in the description. Like I said, you get a course, you get members forecast videos. Every single morning before the London session, I do a 20 to 30 minute Zoom meeting with my members. I tell people what direction I'm trading in, I tell people what I'm trading, I tell people what to look for an entry. Every single morning before the London session on all yen pairs, all dollar pairs. It comes with that trading course I just showed you. It also comes with twice a week. We do like a 2-hour Zoom meeting on Tuesdays and on Thursdays. And it also comes with access to my private chats on Discord, which is where I usually share my analysis about the US dollar index. So let's see, where were we? The Canadian Swiss. Definitely in a downtrend, that's for sure. It still has not taken out any structure either, so we're definitely still in a downtrend. Even though it looks like a 5-way pattern, that definitely doesn't mean that the trend is over. It very easily could just keep on going down. Just because we're in all-time lows doesn't mean that it's over either. Now, looking at the sort of time phase, it kind of looks like it wants to go up though. But that is definitely 3 waves up, so maybe it is going to just keep on going down. Kind of hard to say. On the higher time frames, I definitely don't see any reason to think that it's going up yet. Boy, I think I would just be looking for shorts right now. I'd be looking for ABC up, ABC up, ABC up, and pulse it down, entry to go short for the continuation of the downtrend. Definitely seems like the most likely thing to happen. One-hour time frame. I don't know. I mean, you could possibly trade long if we get a break of structure, but I think it's probably going to go up and make a wave A, it's probably going to make a wave B, and it's probably going to make a wave C, which would probably be a correction to this last move down. And I think it's more likely it'll just keep on trending down. So that definitely seems like the most likely thing that I think would happen on that one. So, what else do we got? We got the Canadian Swiss. Hey, Quizzy, thanks for the kind words. I think we already looked at the US dollar ZAR, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, that's right, because I was saying that this is probably a crescent to the move down. I think this move up is a crescent to this move down. I think there's a very good likelihood it will go down for either a 1, 2, 3 or an ABC. And on the 1 hour time frame, we just got a break of structure. I think the dollar's going down. Look how clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we got the end of a trend. I think that the 5 waves that we ended on the weekly is the end of a wave 3. Mostly based on looking at other pairs too, but yeah, I see what you mean though. It definitely does look like a 3, 4, 5, doesn't it? I definitely see what you mean. This little shape up here in the top definitely looks like a 3, 4, 5. You might be right, Fly Moon, honestly. Some of the other pairs do not look like they're just ending at wave 3. Like the euro and the pound and the Canadian. They all look like they're ending at wave 3. And the dollar yen, they look like they're ending at wave 3. The Swiss yen especially. Let's go look at the Euro Aussie. We haven't looked at that one in a while. I think the Euro Aussie is in a big uptrend right now. I think it's just going to continue to make these higher highs, higher lows. Just keep on going. I think we're in the middle of a wave 3. On the weekly, that is. Look at that on the daily. I even had my Fibonacci here from last time that somebody asked me to look at this. A, B, C, 61% Fibonacci, impulsive up, break of structure. This thing's going up. I would say it's for sure going up. I think the US dollar Canadian looks like the end of a trend for the wave C. I would say so. Seems like it's right on track to me. Yeah, I would definitely only be looking for longs right now. I would be looking for pullback entries for sure on this one. ABC down, impulsive up, go long for sure. One hour time frame. This move down didn't really give us any structure. I mean, there's structure right here, but there's no clear like ABC in there. Maybe there's like an A here and like a B here somewhere, and then this is the C, but not really a very clear correction. It's just like an overlapping correction. It's kind of like a channel correction. That's kind of what it is. Look at that. That's actually perfect. Because it broke out of the channel and then it retested the channel, and then that would have been a much safer entry to go long right there. Maybe the same thing is going to happen right here. This is going to come down, retest the channel, and then keep on going up. Hey, buddy, thanks for the support. Ken Lloyd, Iris Ken Lloyd, thank you for the support, buddy. What are you asking for? The EUO, AUD? Oh, in the overbought position. Yeah, I don't put a whole lot of weight into overbought, oversold indicators. They definitely can help for pullback entries. Like if you're in a downtrend on the higher time frames and the indicator is overbought, then that can be a good indication that it's going to go short. And if you're in a big uptrend and the oscillator is oversold, that can be a good indication to go long. So yeah, you might be right, Fly Moon, about that Kiwi yen. Honestly, the Kiwi yen does kind of have that 3, 4, 5 shape for sure. The pound Aussie still look like it's going up too, because they're very, very correlated. Oh yeah, definitely. This one's even better. 1, 2, 3, probably going to keep on trending, eventually making a 3, 4, 5. I think it's going to go up and take out these highs. Daily time frame, yeah, I would say so. That's definitely an ABC correction. That's definitely going up. This is definitely a correction. That's definitely going up. I would definitely be waiting for another correction, for another entry to go long for sure. We had almost the same setup too on this one as the other one. That channel right there, look at that. That's like so nice. So it was like a channel correction. It broke out. It came back, tested it, and then that would have been a much safer entry to go long right there. Oh, thanks, Davin. Thanks a lot, buddy. I do appreciate it. It takes a while to get through the course because it is 7.5 hours long, so it definitely does take a while to get through it. But like I said, I spent about 3 months working on that course, so I put a lot into it. I feel like some of my videos I kind of blab on a little bit, but that's just because I got a lot to say, I guess. Yeah, I think the yen pairs are still going down for sure. What's up with the dollar? We're approaching 90 minutes, so I might as well go look at the dollar one more time. I've been on this live stream for almost 90 minutes now, so I think it's pretty close to time for me to go enjoy the rest of my day. Maybe go down to the cafe shop and get a little coffee and get caffeinated and start my weekend pretty soon. Yeah, I definitely think that. Yeah, maybe this won't move much today. Maybe it will kind of bounce around a little bit today, but I'm definitely would be holding my longs for sure. I think it's going up for sure. Same thing with this one. I mean, maybe it won't go up much today, but I definitely would be holding on to a long. I think that it will go up eventually. Oh, even this one's going up. Look at that. That looked like a correction. Like I was saying earlier, if you were on the 1 hour time frame, you would have seen that and you would have gone short. And then I bet it's going up for sure. Same thing with the Kiwi. That looked like a correction, and then what happened? It's just barely trapped all the sellers, and now it's going to go up. I would almost guarantee it. US dollar Canadian definitely looks like the end of a correction. Nice uptrend for the A. Nice three-way pattern down for the B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of C. 50% Fibonacci level. Break of structure. Really, really, very, very clear. US dollar Swiss is one of the ones that I picked to go short on. It's looking pretty good. The reason why I picked this one is because of how clear the corrections were. I think this is going to go down also, and I'm probably going to hold at least until it takes out that low back here. So I'm probably going to be holding on to this for at least a week or so. Going to have to hold on to it for a week or so. Utilize as much of the profit as possible. Oh yeah, look at that. What a bear trap that this thing. Even gold today. You know how many people went short today on that spike right there? And I started today's meeting by saying that gold looks, on the shorter time frames, gold looks like a correction. It looks like it's going to go down. But I do not think it's going down, I said, because of what I see on the daily. On the daily, it looks like it's going up. It could be a wave C, and it could go down next week, but it's definitely going up. That was a wicked, wicked bear trap right there. Imagine how many people went short. Thanks a lot, Captain. I really do appreciate it. I do appreciate the support everybody gives me. I really do appreciate the kind comments. One of the reasons why I started this community in the first place is because I really think that every trader needs to have a good community. Community is very, very important when it comes to trading, because trading is very, very difficult, especially for most people. So having a great community is definitely a very, very important thing, which is why I started this Discord channel. The Discord channel, as you can see, has... What are we up to? We have 3,649 members. So, really great community. As you can see, very active community. I really suggest that everybody come on, join up. Look at all the charts that people are posting. Everybody's helping each other out. Everybody's having a good time talking about trading. And pretty much there's no rules unless you are scamming people, unless you're trying to sell somebody something. There's pretty much no rules. You get on, people help you out, and it's really a great community. Like I said, community is very important, and we have 3,650 members almost. And I will be doing another giveaway probably for the end of the month. Our last giveaway winner was Menu. So I probably will do another giveaway on the 31st, which I'll probably start on the 17th for a 1-month membership to my trading course. And the only way you can win the giveaway is to be a member of my Discord, a free member. Like I said, it's 100% free to join. You never have to pay a dime if you do not want to. If you do want to join, all these members chats right here are for the paying members. Every single morning I do a members forecast for all the dollar pairs, all the yen pairs, including the yen basket, and including gold and the dollar index. So every single morning before the London session, as you can see, I do a 20-30 minute video for the Patreon members. I tell people what direction I'm trading in. I tell people what I'm looking for. I tell people what pairs I'm looking to trade. Every single morning before the London session, we have a short meeting. And the members chats is where I also post pictures of my charts and stuff like that in here also. This is only for the members. But you don't ever have to join. You can stay a 100% free member for as long as you want. I actually encourage people to join, stay a free member, get some, learn from other people, and then maybe once you feel like you've started to learn, that's when you can join my membership and take it to the next level and become a consistently profitable trader. Because that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to make consistently profitable traders out of everybody. So it is 2:30. So I do think I will be on for the next couple hours, probably at least 2 more hours. I like to stay on until at least noon New York time, 5 p.m. UK time, because that's kind of when the market starts to slow down. It's about noon New York time, 5 p.m. UK time. That's when the London session closes, and that's when New York goes on lunch. And after lunch, really, it's usually quite a bit slower. So hopefully everybody enjoys their weekend as always. Like someone said in the chats, it's a really good time to do some back testing, do some strategy testing. It's a really good time to watch my course videos. If you are a member, I really do suggest you watch my course and then join my Zoom meeting on Tuesdays, because that's where I teach, that's where I show the strategy. I trade exactly like I teach. So I hope everybody enjoys their weekend, and as always, happy trading.